Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the CCA League Season 4, Week 3. We have another fantastic matchup for you all here on our Friday triple header. I am DRF, joined by Riffy to cover two more teams here. A fantastic Division 5 matchup. Riffy, we're gonna jump right into this one, but give us a quick bit here. Who are we seeing here?
We are going to be seeing the Sporty Bobble hack gang from West Virginia University and Ink Raiders Bravo from Middle Tennessee State. Both comps opting to run with a tactical, I'm seeing Cephicus from, I believe that is Sporty Bobble hack gang, going on to the tactical with the Triangle Bow, and a bit more standard from the, I believe that is Ink Raiders Bravo, I could be wrong here, going with that classic NZAP. And as we see these NZAP immediately getting picked on that side, going to go on a trade. Cephicus finding two with that AoE. And this push has just gone totally in the favor of Sporty Bobble hack gang. What do you think, DR?
Yeah, I mean, at least just for the early game here, that's certainly what it seems like. This Jet Squelcher gonna be able to utilize that range perfectly to get a couple of picks here, and this should be the first checkpoint for free. And the Jet Squelcher still gonna cause some pain here, and this push is not letting up anytime soon. This should be more points beyond the checkpoint for Sporty Bobble hack gang.
Yeah, having momentum is just so important when it comes to being able to play on Rainmaker. We see, Ink Raiders Bravo trying to get some momentum. AC Drift finding a pick here. That's definitely what you need, trying to just reset if you're down in that low ground, find a flank option. But as I say that, Cephicus finding the pick could potentially bring this Rainmaker possession back to Sporty Bobble hack gang. Getting the jumps in as we go to our next push DR.
Yeah, and I think Cephicus might have gotten a triple there, because I'm pretty sure that was just 3 down suddenly on the side of the Ink Raiders, and somehow Cephicus is still alive. Like, how are they doing this right now? Gonna pick up this Rainmaker. What the heck? This is a one-man army right now.
What an incredible determination from Sporty Bobble hack gang. Just deciding, you know what, we have to lead. We're gonna play a bit more aggressive here just to keep the momentum in our favor, run down the clock a little bit as Ink Raiders Bravo looking to get some picks. And I believe that was a flank from the Jet Squelcher. Will shut down the Rainmaker pick. But Ink Raiders Bravo is going to go back to popping this Rainmaker shield and getting their push set up here.
Certainly doing a great job of it right now. And this Hammer going to try to come in, cause a bit of a distraction. Finally going to get shut down by the Ink Strike. And 2 players now down on the side of the Ink Raiders. Going to try to match that there by taking 2 of Sporty Bobble gang down. And this is just, honestly, this fight has not left this particular corner of the map in probably about 2 minutes.
Definitely. Rainmaker, a lot of the popular Rainmaker maps, definitely known for that elbow position, where there's just a ton of action, a ton of bombs and specials being thrown at the enemy. Ink Raiders Bravo going to opt to go for the reset here, wants to potentially get it in a different position, potentially a better way to get some points on the board.
Oh, and there goes 2 down on the side of the Sporty Bobble hack gang. Now it's gonna be the Ink Raiders that have the wipeout here. This is gonna be huge for them. They should be able to pick up this Rainmaker and get it at least pretty close to the checkpoint. And they're gonna actually opt for the left side. You never see this. And they're gonna pay the price for it as the Tri-Slosher once again gonna dive on in, find the double. Their teammates will pick up the 3rd pick. And now it is just the T-Tech all the way back, and now it looks like the Sporty Bobble hack gang's gonna try to do the same thing.
Yeah, but Ink Raiders Bravo, they did have those tactical respawns from their push. They were just able to get back in, coordinate, just collapse onto that Rainmaker user. But as I say, that Sporty Bobble hack gang is going to be playing off of that great. It's going to be a 2 versus 3 situation. Sporty Bobble hack gang opting to take it, but Ink Raiders Bravo seeming to have the advantage here with the picks. As it looks like their members are a bit closer to the Rainmaker. And as I say that, immediately one going down on Ink Raiders Bravo. AC Drift actually going in, finding a triple! Actually, did I see that right? Actually, that's going to be a wipeout. Just
whoa.
Very, very quick push from
And they're they're gonna try to take the left side again. No, okay, deciding once and for all. Let's just take the right side. That's gonna be a little bit safer. I think that was certainly the right call to make, especially with 30 seconds to play. No need to gamble here. You need to hold this position though if you are the Ink Raiders. And take a look at this. The Sporty Bobble Hat gang making a big move there to grab the Rainmaker and drop it out of bounds to reset it. 20 seconds to play, and that could be the game-winning move there for Sporty Bobble Hat gang, as they're gonna find 3 down, and they're gonna go ahead and add some extra points because why not?
I love this decision. You have the tactical, you can just run as much as you want to get points. You don't have to worry about stalling. You can just keep on fighting. It looks like, although it's nearly going to be the win for Sporty Bobble Hat gang, but Cole Orion is going to hold on to this Rainmaker in this bowl that Ink Raiders have themselves situated in. But that ball point will go down on the side of Ink Raiders Bravo. That's going to be a backline loss. It's going to be very difficult, and Sephiga is going to clean out with the pick on the Rainmaker.
Wow, what a chaotic game number 1. You know, it was a lot of just back and forth there. We saw that, like you said, the elbow just being such a key point in a lot of Rainmaker maps, and that was just the true battleground of this particular map mode, right around the checkpoint 1 for Sporty Bobble Hat gang. You know, they just never kind of gave up on that position there. They continued to hold on to it so nice, and just kept that pressure up. You know, they didn't really get too many points out of, you know, that big whole fight that was there in that corner, but, you know, the pressure just kind of wasted a majority of that game clock, and as a result, you know, it gave Ink Raiders just not much time to work with. They finally got a really nice push off at the end, but they just weren't able to hold on to the pressure like Sporty Bobble Hat gang did.
Definitely. I definitely think that both of these teams are still definitely in it to win it. I'm noticing a lot of fun, aggressive plays using the tactical comps with stuff like the Tetras and a bunch of the other fast-paced, fast kill time slayers. Although we might see things shake up a bit on Clamblitz Eeltail Alley. This is more known of as a linear map in the Splatoon community, so I definitely think that a lot of special coordination to get past those choke points, being able to just collect all of your teammates in one spot, and score those clams, keep the clam pushes extended as long as possible, is going to be essential to victory here.
Certainly, I agree with all of that fantastic analysis there, Riffy. You know, this is, in my opinion, the fastest map mode in the game. Like, I think on this map more than any other is where you really see 100-0 pushes, which aren't that common on Clamblitz in the first place, but on Eeltail, it's almost a staple. So you have to be ready. You have to be ready for your any push that comes from your opponent, because it's gonna come fast, and you're not gonna have much opportunity to stop, because if you get staggered, it is over. But let's take a look at some of these comps here, seeing quite a few adjustments here from both sides.
I'm most interested in seeing the Octobrush Nouveau. Sporty Bobble Hat gang opting for that Octobrush as a Squid Beacon option. Squid Beacons can be quite annoying. They're just going to be providing constant respawns. And as I say that, 3 go down on Sporty Bobble Hat gang as Ink Raiders Bravo doing a good job of getting the picks they need, but they need to get past this choke point as well with some of their specials.
Certainly, and it just doesn't seem like anyone's quite got the clam economy or the position to make anything big happen yet. So for now, it's just kind of going to continue to be a stalemate here. So we'll just have to see. Eventually, somebody's going to have a breakthrough here, but with just a handful of clams on either side. For now, it's just kind of a waiting game. Just continue to try to hold these positions, try to find some good picks here, just like Sporty Bobble Hat gang is going to have 3 down now. And with 15 clams in their pockets, this is the window of opportunity that they were looking for.
That pick on the Splatter Shot is huge. Splatter Shot, such a versatile weapon, has an incredibly strong special, and I feel like that was the pick that Sporty Bobble Hat gang really needed and was really able to capitalize off of well in order to get this clam push that we are seeing going to go down to the 71, as it is a 3-on-3 situation right now. Ink Raiders Bravo looking for a retake as the clam basket will float.
Oh man, so it's gonna just be a 1+3 situation here for Sporty Bobble Hat Gang. So certainly seemed like they could have gotten a few more in, but that was a huge takedown. Wow indeed. I mean, 3 down, and now Ink Raiders Bravo gonna respond with a massive push of their own, gonna get the lead pretty easily here and get over 50 points. What a push.
Definitely. As you said, DRF, earlier in this set, this is just an unexpectedly fast map mode combination. You can just book it to the enemy team's clam basket when you get the picks, and it can be a bit tricky if you're the defending team to try and stop that. Just super strong momentum from just an enemy team charging at you.
Certainly. And now take a look at this. It's the Ink Raiders again, finding a crucial 3 down here. Don't really have that many clams to work with though, so they will allow the members of Sporty Bobble Hat Gang to get back into action here as they continue to try to hold position in mid, waiting for a few more clams to spawn, hopefully trying to call a member of Sporty Bobble Hat Gang out of position. A trade on the bridge, now gonna allow, oh my goodness, that is a wipeout, and this should now be the push that Ink Raiders are looking for.
I am loving these refiner plays from AC Drift. This is not a special that a lot of people really think about, but you do have that large radius that a lot of people might underestimate at first. But AC Drift showing us how to use it. And as I say that, 3 going down on the side of Ink Raiders Bravo. Can Sporty Bobble Hat Gang find the clams and push into Ink Raiders Bravo's base? We'll have to see.
That is the question indeed, as that was a big stop by Sporty Bobble Hat Gang, because the previous time we had seen them go 3 down, it resulted in a 53-point push, this time not allowing any points to be scored. Cephagus gonna pop that Kraken, try to get a couple picks here, and it looks like it's just gonna create enough distraction to allow the Octonavo to get in. And fortunately, with 3 down there, there's just not many clams to work with, but they don't see Cephagus here. Cephagus is yeah, I mean, Cephagus is doing a fantastic job of holding this position. Cephagus might be able to get the lead. No, it's going to be a tied game before they go down. They should have grabbed that second clam. I feel like that was a missed opportunity to just steal the lead there. But it was a great effort nonetheless from Cephagus.
I love seeing that movement from Splatlings. A lot of people underestimate some of the mobility of some of those backliners, but you do have the run speed up, and you do have that threatening charge that can make it can make it quite a formidable opponent, even if it's the only one left. And this is pretty much last play territory for both teams. Ink Raiders Bravo finding a pick. Here comes the Kraken from Sporty Bobble Hat Gang. It's a 3-3 situation, and it looks like that's going to be down to 2 members for Ink Raiders Bravo. That gets somewhat surrounded though. It's a bloodbath, but Ink Raiders Bravo finding the wipeout. Do they have enough time to get this push in? It looks like they have 15 seconds, but I believe that will be it.
Wow.
That's going to Raiders Bravo. What an exciting back and forth, DRS.
That was wild. I mean, Cephagus, definitely the MVP of that one there, for Sporty Bobble Hat Gang, but it just was too little too late. Like, at the end there as well, it came down to that 1v1, and unfortunately just losing out on it. If they had won that, it would have at least given them the opportunity to break the basket open, and that would have tied the game, because they had a 19-point penalty plus the 1 for tying the game. That's just given to you because you got to that score second. That would have tied the game, and they would have only needed 1 clam to take the win. But it came down to that 1v1, just ultimately fell short. But it was an exciting game nonetheless between both of those teams. You can't get much closer than that, especially, as we said at the start of that game, on Eeltail Clam Blitz. I mean, it's very frequent we see knockouts there, and high-scoring games, constant lead exchanges if you're able to draw it out to the full 5 minutes, and we sort of got that there, and I mean, that just came down to the wire. So a great showing by both of those teams in Game 2.
Definitely. I am a huge supporter of Clam Blitz as a map mode. Just being able to see teams go back and forth between attacking and defending, almost like football or basketball teams, is just a really fun way of thinking about Splatoon when it comes to pushes and fights. It's just a blast in general.
That's why we
And-
play this funny Squid Game, huh?
Absolutely. And it looks like we're going to Splat Zones on one of the newer maps, Crab Leg Capital. Splat Zones, Crab Leg, Zones is the most popular for Crab Leg. Rain and Clams are generally more preferred in the community, but I'm glad we're seeing some more diversity in the map list here, especially given a lot of the praise that the new maps have received. Being able to use those really quick flank routes, a lot of the inkable walls that you can maybe take snipe from or run over. It's just, in my opinion, really fun regardless of what map or what mode you're playing it on, and I definitely think we're going to see some really fun back and forth fights here.
I certainly hope so. You know, I like you said, it is Crableg Splat Zone, so it is probably one of the sort of more controversial crab leg modes, but exciting nonetheless to see how these two teams go at it here. Let's dive on in. Seeing a few weapon adjustments once again from both of these squads here. Sephagus seems to just be full of surprises, now pulling out the Anarchy Nova.
Yeah, so probably going to the vanilla ballpoint, both of these teams going to opt for a jetpack. I know very popular in Hagglefish. I feel like this is somewhat similar to Hagglefish, so maybe some inspiration from other map modes in the game to bring out these ink jets, which can bring the chip damage to get their team in. As Raiders Bravo is going to start off tapping the zone, finding some good picks onto Sporty Bobble hacking.
Yeah, a great opening here for the Ink Raiders as they have this zone on lockdown. That cooler gonna come out. Seemed like that the ballpoint was trying to get to that cooler and it's just not gonna be able to. A little bit of a misstep there is now gonna extend their respawn time as well. And Sporty Bobble hacking in full control of this zone, collapsing in on that last splash player. And Sporty Bobble hacking in the driver's seat. Let's see if they can match the push out of the Ink Raiders.
You see this? Anarchy-Nova going in, finding the pick. That is something that you don't really see often from the Anarchy-Nova, but Sephagus is very confident in being able to find those picks without longer range. And I believe this one flipped a bit in favor of Ink Raiders Bravo. Ink Raiders Bravo going to pop the crab tank, possibly finding the pick, possibly trying to die some space, will get cancelled, as both these teams are in somewhat of a neutral, and as I say that, Ink Raiders Bravo finding the wipeout that they need.
And I mean, that was a massive bailout there by AC Drift. Like, their teammate here on the splash, like, they had the crab tank and just could not find the player that was, you know, right in front of them. So they just rolled out and were almost shut down. And I think if they get shut down there, we see Sporty Bobble hacking hold on to that zone a little bit longer. But now, if we're going to be going back and forth yet again, make it a wipeout. So wipeout for wipeout now. My goodness, these two teams are playing aggressive here in Game 3.
I definitely love how both of these teams are potentially using comms to just being able to coordinate when they should be able to just aggressively collapse on enemies when they, say, find them out in position or when they're ready to push. I think that's definitely a strength for both of these teams, and at least some really exciting gameplay.
Ooh, and that's a huge double. This Inkjet needs to come up big here, but no, they're gonna get shut down instead. And now it's up to the Zap to try to make something happen. They're gonna need this one pick. They're gonna have to find a second here, and they might just do it. No, gonna fall shy, but bought their team actually a fair bit of time to get back into the zone here and try to neutralize it before they get knocked out, but it's gonna be too little, too late.
Definitely an unfortunate situation from Ink Raiders Bravo. Losing the end out there is quite unfortunate at the end because you have the potentially LDE bombs. I'm not sure if they're running an LDE, but you have the bombs, you have the incredible pain of the end zap, and unfortunately, Ink Raiders Bravo didn't really have a chance to force a last fight territory for the match.
Yeah, you know, the NZAP was definitely in a bit of a dicey position there because they were the last one standing, you know, and they did their best to try to just hold position. They got one pick. They were so close to getting the second, but it was just too many people surrounding them, and that's what happens when you're the last one standing. You know, obviously there's the option to possibly have jumped out. They had the cooler active, so they could have gone back to a teammate that was just respawning and tried to push back in. You know, there's a few different options there for them, but none of the options were fantastic. They were gonna have to kind of dive that zone to save it at the last second anyways. But they did a great job nonetheless. I mean, that's exactly what we expected out of that game 3. A bit of back and forth until one team finally just broke through, that being Sporty Bobble Hat Gang, to secure the KO.
And we're definitely going to look forward to our next map, which is going to be Tower Control on Humpback Pump Track. I think that there's a very underrated mode for, again, aggressive plays. I think that even though if you sort of extend the tower push, it can maybe get a bit more passive gameplay, but when it comes to the middle of the map, I think that with the different terrain, all the different slopes, it allows for stuff like try new bows. I don't know if we have any Dynamo players here, but there are just a ton of different weapons that can thrive on this terrain during the starting fight. And I think that whatever team is able to sort of get that momentum from, just playing aggressively, sort of sharpening underneath that lower part of mid, is going to have a huge advantage on their hands.
Yeah, and I'll take this opportunity here to just preface that I am not responsible for this week's map list. I know that there was this week's map list is a little bit spicy, but I did not do the cooking this week. So let me just preface that, because I know that there's a few people out there that have been like, damn it, DRF, how could you let this happen? It is not me, folks. It is not me, but this is a pretty fun map list nonetheless. I mean, Tower Control Humpback Pump Track, I believe, finished pretty solidly 9th or 10th in our community map survey. So I agree, Riffy. This is a pretty underrated map mode, and I think people are actually enjoying it probably a little bit more than they expect. So it's here now. So let's take a look at what these teams are running, because again, these teams continue to pull weapons deep from in their pockets to come out into this set, and it is already a bloodbath here in mid.
Yeah, noticing Semphagus finding a pick will be able to shut down that Slayer option, the 10 attack, going to allow Sporty Bobble Hat Gang to not get overwhelmed by the forces of Infiltrators Bravo. I'm also noticing Sporty Bobble Hat Gang running somewhat of a chip damage comp, having, the Fizzy Bomb, the consistent damage from the Anti-Nova and the Dually Squelchers, the Custom Jet Squelcher. As I say that, Infiltrators Bravo finding the picks to potentially push this tower a bit, but Sporty Bobble Hat Gang is immediately back, ready to fight. Semphagus is on a roll, going to go for a flank, will get shut down unfortunately, as now Sporty Bobble Hat Gang in a 2-down situation, Infiltrators Bravo ready to push.
Yes, they are, and this is gonna be huge here for the Ink Raiders, as they got what effectively was a delayed wipe there, going to push through this first checkpoint with minimal issue. The Jet Squelcher just got a little bit too laser focused there on the tower, and as a result, going down, this will be a massive push for Ink Raiders. The question will be how many points they get out of this.
It looks like this push will be extended for quite a while. They're going to find continuous picks. Just being able to have those consistent picks and cause a stagger Sporty Bobble Hat Gang is quite powerful, especially in a mode like Tower Control. They're already up to 5, 3 down, and Ink Raiders Bravo with a quick map 4 on TC Humpback.
Wow, tying that set up in dominant fashion. I mean, at a huge triple there right at the end. I believe that was from Cole. I mean, that was pretty impressive to be able to just clean that one up. It seemed like, that first checkpoint is always the trickiest part of Tower Control Humpback, but the minute that they got that delayed wipe, things just broke open for them, and they were able to just isolate each of the individual players out of Sporty Bobble Hat Gang, take care of them, and force them into a stagger that really just let things fall into place for them. So, I mean, huge kudos to the Ink Raiders there. I think that was as textbook as you can get for Tower Control Humpback.
Definitely. Definitely back and forth a bit at the start, but we definitely saw that MTSU Ink Raiders were just able to get a little bit of pressure on West Virginia's flag, which is really important when it comes to humpback because you don't really have that many other options. So if you're able to get paint control forward when you're looking, say, from the tower, which is moving to the left, if you're able to just like consistently paint the enemy flat, it is a very powerful situation to be in.
Well put. So, but now, as we kind of look here, Rainmaker Manta, 2-2 situation here. So we are guaranteed at least 2 more games. But this is going to be so pivotal because the winner of this will be at match point. That will buy your team an extra game of wiggle room to close out the set. So definitely don't want to put yourself in a disadvantage at this point, but we have had quite a few sets already this season in which teams have gone down 1-3 and come back and won it all. So definitely, I think this is probably like at this stage in the season, the most that we have seen that type of thing happen, but we've even had one full on reverse sweep. So it really isn't the end of the world if you end up dropping this game 5. But obviously you don't want to put yourself in that position in the first place. But all that to kind of say, hope is never lost, no matter how far down you are in this set, because we've seen it time and time again already, that you can come back. And you just really need to take it one game at a time. So with that said, let's dive on into game 5. Riffy, what are you noticing once again with these comps?
First thing that stands out to me is immediately the mini Splatling, which is probably one of my favorites from Splat 2, and in my opinion is a bit of an underrated Slayer here. You have a Burst Bomb, which is a really strong option for a bit of mobility, you have good range, and I'm going to try to get the Rainmaker, but unfortunately will go down to the Crossfire. Cole RI on finding that pick. Stefan is actually going to pick it up, but it's a 2-down situation now for Sporty Bobble Gang, as Invaders Bravo getting a threat to top. But I think Lucy Fish on that mini is still flanking behind them. Potentially keep their rates to their advantage, potentially get a pick here. And I think Booyah Guy also going around the back finding a pick. Can they find 2? Unfortunately, they won't, going down to Sergeant Khan. Lucy Fish picking up this Rainmaker with the run speed. What a turn of events, DRS.
Certainly, and I mean, like, definitely the positioning on this game has been quite the spectacle already, just because it feels like people are just coming out of just random places to like collapse in on this Rainmaker right now. Like I feel like multiple people have already been semi out of position, and there's a DC. Okay, so that might have been a contributing factor here, but these teams are able to stop play if they realize it, but that is entirely on Sporty Bobble Gang to do so. If they play it out, then that's on them. Which it looks like they just might. So Sporty Bobble Gang, for the record, has the complete right to just go ahead and force the reset here, but by playing it out, this result will stand, and it looks like, okay, finally it looks like the message kind of got through there. All right. So now they'll go ahead and just knock it out. I'm assuming, especially this is Div 5, so a lot of these players are relatively new. Probably just not aware of the DC rule set right off the bat. Not aware of how to necessarily end the game as well. But hey, the message got through though. Seems like both these teams are on board to replay this one.
Yeah. I saw the little spin maneuver that the Rainmaker character is doing. Bit of a gaming meme about how that's sort of like the universal sign of the P. So Ingraders, I think, deciding, you know what, there's a DC, we'll just knock it out so that way we can get back into a fresh new game.
All right, so checking in with the captains here, they're making sure that they have clearance for the replay. Yes, they do. So they will go ahead and run this one back once they can get that last player in the lobby. All right, yeah, they're also making sure that the time limit wasn't passed, so I don't believe it was, Riffy, you can probably correct me on that, but that seemed like it was in the first half of the game. I don't think we had passed the 2:30 mark yet.
Yeah, I think at least 3 minutes were left when the player DC'd, so we should be good to do a replay. No team got past 50 or 60, I forget the exact number, but
50.
we should be good for, yeah, nobody got past 50, so we should be good for a replay of Rainmaker Manta.
Absolutely. So, we'll give teams, just the benefit of the doubt here because, like I said, it's, a lot of these players are definitely on the newer side, may not be used to DC rules. So they were double checking as well because they're like, yeah, it's hard to know in the moment whether the DC rules apply. And I totally get it. So it's from the sounds of it, the player that DC'd Cephagus is the one that actually was aware of how to like stop the match. The rest of the team wasn't sure. So that's why they kept playing it out as well. So it happens there. So we'll get them back on the right track here. Cephagus is back in the lobby, and we will go ahead and run this game back. They should be readying up right away.
Yep. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the same comps around here. You can correct me on the rules if I'm unaware of any sort of like replay rules, but
yeah, you're correct. Comps should stay the same. So you're not allowed to change your gear or anything like that. It's just replay, the exact thing in the exact same situation. So let's go ahead and dive right back on into this one and figure out who was actually supposed to win it once and for all.
I am ready to get back right into this, and I just noticed this right now. We are going to be seeing a light Tetris release from AC Drift. I definitely think that with the bunkers and verticality of this map, that Zipcaster can be quite useful here, as well as the Sprinkler for potential Rainmaker pop utility.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, and this probably is one of the least seen weapons in the game right now. You just never see light Tetris used for much. As Cephagus is gonna come out aggressive to start this game, nearly claiming the checkpoint, but will ultimately fall a little bit short of that goal. But now it does force a fair half of the Ink Raiders just to kind of play back a little bit, because now they got to kind of clean up, pick up this Rainmaker, start to advance it themselves. And if they can get a couple picks here, which they do, make it 3 down. If they can make this a delayed wipe, yes, they will. Cephagus gonna try to come in and save this one, but he's not able to. So, Ink Raiders take that first checkpoint handedly.
Nice work from, I'm seeing Sergeant Kong just going from that bunker to the checkpoint to just behind the checkpoint, just constantly running around with how nimble and quick that ends up to be. Just using its speed to its advantage really well. As we see Cephagus going to go in and find the Rainmaker pick, going to stay alive, but looks like we're going to be in a neutral situation here. Sporty Bobble Gang will pop the hammer, going to force out Raiders Bravo, as Sporty Bobble Gang ready for their first, I'd say a bit more coordinated Rainmaker push.
Well, they're gonna offer the reset instead. I don't think they're in the position to have to reset it. I guess they... Oh, no, you hate to see it. It happens, though. You fall right off. And Cephagus might suffer a similar fate here. No, gonna ultimately get shut down before they could slip off the edge there. So just a chaotic reset here for Sporty Bobblehead Gang. But they do a good job of maintaining this Rainmaker in central position as they try to get themselves back into some key positions.
Definitely, and I'm noticing only 2 members are currently alive. Make that a bit of a stagger for Ink Raiders Bravo. We are going to be finding the pick onto that key tech, and Mini finding with that hammer another pick. This is just opening the door wide open. Oh, with the bomb pick. That is very unfortunate, but Sporty Bob High still going to choose to push this one. The triple! Oh my goodness. What a way to just clean up that fight.
And Cephagus is going to force a one-man push here and gets the lead all on their own! What a huge hero play from Cephagus here!
Incredible, just taking the leap of faith. Just fully confident in being able to just push that as much as they can. You just love to see those risk-taking plays in anywhere in Splatoon.
That was absolutely huge. And now it's Ink Raiders that are on the back foot here, trying to make a play happen. They're going to have 1:45. That's plenty of time to try to get back the lead here. And they just have to take it bit by bit. AC Drift trying to hold on to this Rainmaker. Gonna get chased down by Sephagus once again, making the big play here to shut this one down. And they're gonna pick it up and try to push it again. But no, they're not gonna get too far this time. That should be the end of this Rainmaker push for Sporty Bobble Hat Gang. So 1.5 minutes is what the Ink Raiders will have to work with to try to get themselves back in position to possibly get the lead. It's not gonna be easy for them, but if they can just time these specials out correctly, they'll be in a good spot to do so, as they're kind of just going one special at a time, which might help them to break through here. AC Drift doing a great job of staying alive, but I don't think they're going to be up much longer here. They do get shut down for now, but oh, the wipeout, and Sephagus is the last person standing in the entire map.
Sephagus is just tearing up this lobby right now, just constantly going in, throwing down tacticals to get that QR. Going to be using that quick jump out to reposition themselves. And Sporty Bobble Hat Gang, they do have 2 downs. They will find the pop quickly, but that, I believe, is a delayed wipe.
Yes, it is.
And another going down on the side of Sporty Bobble Hat Gang, as Ink Raiders Bravo, potentially last Rainmaker push of the game, looking to get past this 15 mark that Sephagus sent.
Yeah, but if they're going to be able to get back this lead, they need to shut down Sephagus, and they do so right there. Huge pick. And now with a 2-man advantage, the Ink Raiders have an opportunity here. But no! The Jet Squelcher making the game-ending play. What a crazy back and forth match we have here. That was just so much fun to watch. Hero plays coming out of both sides here. That was entertaining from start to finish, Riffy.
Without a doubt. I also loved, maybe I'm a bit biased as a former / current mini player, but I really liked the use of that Ultra Stamp to just get quick pops on the Rainmaker. Just being able to quickly, even if your Rainmaker carry goes down, just being able to use the stamp, quickly repop, use the stamp to just push even more, get more kills, and just let nothing stop in your way. And I think that was just a blast to see from a weapon that we unfortunately don't get to see much of.
Certainly. Well, as we now progress into game number 6, Sporty Bobble Hat Gang up 3-2 in what has been a wildly entertaining set so far. You know, that match point, so Ink Raiders, what's been kind of interesting for them here is that it feels like they are consistently falling just a little bit short in these close matchups, because the games that they're winning are games that they're breaking the game open and getting big pushes off, and we just haven't, you know, quite seen that you know, from that since that tower control humpback game. You know, it feels like that's what they really need. They need a game breaking moment. Not literally. Don't go break the game, but you know what I mean. They need an opportunity to just kind of break free and really just move around freely. And you know, in those close settings, they're just almost getting hustled by, you know, just Sephagus alone almost. So if they could figure out a way to deal with that and to, you know, really capitalize on 2-3 down situations, they can come back here, because Clamlet's ship shape, we're going from one of the fastest scoring Clamlet's maps to one of the slowest scoring Clamlet's maps.
Definitely. You do have, you know, that very, very narrow place near the spawn of the enemy team. You do also have that quite slow ramp. We could potentially see maybe some Splatlings using that to their advantage. But overall, ship-shape cargo code, especially on Clamblitz, definitely, as you said, a bit slower. Definitely a map that requires, I think, good ability to have coordinated retakes on, as I've been learning with my team. And I think that whichever team is really able to bounce back from some very strong plant pushes from the enemy is going to be the one to be victorious.
Well put, as now we dive on in here. It seems like players are kind of just settling into a couple of the weapons that they've gotten most comfortable with in this set. Although it seems like Cephagus and Lucyfish are sharing that Tri-Slosher duty. So Cephagus going to be bringing out that heavy deco, and AC Drift on the side of the Ink Raiders going to be bringing out the Dark Tetra. So that Reef Slider, you know, we complimented the Reef Slider plays multiple times, and I'm glad that they're bringing it back here. I think this should give them a really good opportunity to try to find some cheeky, you know, scoring opportunities like right here possibly.
Already have Goodness. Wow, just what a pace of play from AC Drift, just finding pick after pick, hunting each individual member of Sporty Bobble Hat Gang. Unfortunately, the clan will dissolve as they don't have anyone to pick it up besides the Kraken, which unfortunately can't pick up now. And we're going to see both teams looking for potentially another clan, potentially a new way to push.
You know, and something else that I also just realized that, you know, we did bring up is that the Sporty Bobble Hat Gang are running this double backline, which is fascinating. It's like you don't really see that, but like it sort of makes sense here just because of the difficulty of scoring. As we're gonna see Sporty Bobble Hat Gang actually make use of that here, able to get the first score of the game. It will be a 1+2, and I think that's going to be it for this push. We should see a delayed wipe, but Bria guy actually doing a great job of backing up. There we go, going down once and for all.
Yeah, double backline comps. Not something that we see a lot of in comp, but I think we could potentially see being useful, especially if you have two weapons active. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Infiltrators will be one down at the moment, looking for a new push. As Sporty Bobble Hat Gang, now is Clam, gonna get a 2-down situation now. Potentially looking for another push. Out comes the Kraken from Cephagus. Ooh, but a nice Trizuka shot. Nice use of that arc from the V-shot user. But as it stands, it looks like Sporty Bobble Hat Gang gonna push forward. No, it doesn't look like it. They will find the pick that they need to shut down any clams from getting in the enemy basket.
Oh, and look at this. It's going to be the Octo Nouveau trying to make a move, but the roller, Crummy, is doing a fantastic job here of just trying to punish anybody that tries to make a move onto the basket. You know, doing a great job of just trying to get underneath people and surprising them when they're least expecting it. But Sporty Bobble Hat Gang is not letting up this pressure in the slightest bit. Consistently just throwing somebody, just trying to run it down and get behind them to surprise the members of the Ink Raiders, and it's been working so far. You know, this is one of those tactics that it is very, very risky, because if you do get called out for it enough, you could go multiple people down and pay a price that allows the other team to just run it down themselves. So it's been working so far, but with a minute and a half still to go, they have to be a little bit careful.
Definitely. I'm really hoping that, again, slow match, I'm definitely hoping that both these teams play it a bit more patiently here. I know I sort of lauded aggressive play earlier, but being able to just sort of take it slow and being able to figure out your push as you go along is very important when it comes to more linear plant-based maps like the one we have here.
And the Jet Squelcher is going to pick one off, but that is a huge 3 down. Now the question is, can the Ink Raiders capitalize on this opportunity? They're going to try. This would be a perfect opportunity to bring out that Zuka. There's one, there's two, and this could be the opportunity now for the Ink Raiders. 18 clams in their pockets. There's a power clam coming from behind, a power clam coming up front, and there's also the Reef Slider, and there is the lead.
What a play, sending that one player to just pincer Sporty Bobble Hat Gang, which allowed Ink Raiders to take the lead on this somewhat linear map. And Sergeant Kong immediately finding the pick onto that Kraken to just be playing aggressive in these last 20 seconds. The power will go down in basically Ink Raider Bravo's side, so it's going to be really difficult for Sporty Bobble Hat Gang to retake that and potentially build another power clan.
It's certainly not over though. They will have overtime here to work with, I think, because no, actually they lost. They lost their pity clam. I did not even realize that. So, Riffy, for the first time on stream this season, we are going to a game 7.
Wow. It is, to put it lightly, it is just an honor to be here. Just being able to commentate just such a fun back and forth game. Ink Raiders getting a comeback in that Clan Blitz match. The Sporty Bobble Hat Gang just dominating on Rainmaker. Ink Raiders again doing so well on tower control. There have just been such strong showings from both of these teams, and definitely an amazing match 7 situation.
I bet you didn't have this on your bingo card for first time out commentating, huh?
Well, it's kind of hard for me to predict stuff because, you know, I don't have the CCA staff script, but I'll find my way around stuff.
Oh man. Well, we couldn't have scripted this any better. This game 7 is always so exciting, and we are going to an absolute classic to figure out who is going to win this set. It is Splat Zone's Mako Mart. This is the final destination of Splatoon.
Definitely. I know, I feel like whenever you ask somebody, like, what is, like, the competitive Splatoon map? I know, Top Gun, the big name in the scene, has been, talking about it lately, but Splat Zone's Mako. Splat Zone's Mako. Everybody's been saying Splat Zone's Mako. Char has been saying it. Top Gun has been saying it. It's just an all-round map that everyone can enjoy. Good flank routes, nice options if you're a backline or you're looking to find picks on snipe. Nice ways to get into the enemy base. There are just a ton of options here. A ton of ways for different Slayer weapons, like a range blaster or a try to thrive. It's going to be just really fun seeing all of these players in their element on this really exciting map.
Well, let's see who will come out on top in this set. Will it be Sporty Bobble Hat Gang out of West Virginia or the Ink Raiders from Middle Tennessee State University? Riffy, let's see what these teams have ultimately brought out for us.
Lucyfish is actually going to be bringing out the Carbon Deco, which I think is a very strong option for these stacks. Just being able to shark up and just immediately delete anybody that you see with that burst bomb combo is just really trending and really set the momentum in the Carbon team's favor. And it looks like Ink Raiders Bravo will find the cap, but as I say that Carbon finding the first pick, looking to bring things around for West Virginia.
Oh, and the Reef Slider is already going to be coming in. You know that's going to be a pest to deal with all game long. The Tetras are going to have to stay in check if you are West Virginia trying to win this game 7 here. Just like Ink Raiders really need to keep an eye on Cephagus, who is actually back on the Nova, the Anarchy Nova. So certainly just a really interesting set of weapons that both of these teams are continuing to bring out time and time again. Because, like, we really just cannot predict what these teams have been bringing out so far.
Yeah, here comes the Surprise Strike from Cole Orion. Going to be finding a pit. It's going to allow Ink Raiders Bravo to move forward now as Ink Raiders Bravo seem to be able to try Zuka. That is such an important pick to find. Unfortunately, going down to that jetpack. As it looks like Sporty Bobble Hat Gang is going to be looking to potentially get another, but no, AC Drift's Reef Slider is going to say, nope, we want this zone and we want it now.
Oh my goodness, and picking off another as well. AC Drift doing it all for their team right now. And the Carbon's gonna come in, but just barely missed. That was a crucial play that could have flipped this entire zone for Sporty Bobble Hat Gang. But AC Drift, I mean, you always have to be careful around Tetris. They could just bob and weave their way out of any situation there. Fantastic movement from AC Drift to get that pick as well. And now, once again, gonna try to find this guy. The Carbon's gonna try to find the Tetris. They're gonna dodge out of it yet again. My goodness, AC Drift. But ultimately goes down to the rain of all things.
Yeah, the rain really allowing Sporty Bubble Hack Gang to just get back into this fight, being able to get the chip damage, take out AC Drift as looks like gonna be a pretty early reset from Seth again. Sporty with the fun, you really pick, will get it on the Tri-Striker as Sporty Bobble Hacking, they have control of this right stack. Igrators Bravo gonna be tapping again with that world famous Reef Slider. But it's a wipeout on the side of Igrators Bravo. Excellent job using that Reef Slider to, get the cap and then just get the follow from that ping control.
Certainly, and this right stack is just so pivotal as this 2v1 situation will go in Ink Raiders' favor. There it is a trade, but given that they're in control right now, I think that's going to work out for them. Now it's Sporty Bobble Hacking trying to make a move into the zone. They do flip it in their favor and get a slight numbers advantage on top of it, but once again the Reef Slider is going to come in and neutralize it, but will not cap it this time for the first time this game, I think. A huge stop there for now by Sporty Bobble Hacking. It does eventually flip into Ink Raiders' favor, but they did a great job of just trying to prevent the Reef Slider from capping that, and they need to continue to do that because that's what's going to be a thorn in their side going into the last minute of this game.
Definitely. With 1 minute to go, we're seeing somewhat even teams. Sporty Bobble Hacking does not have the lead, and they still have a penalty, but this is definitely a winnable situation for them. They do find 2 picks. They will have that Ink Storm. The Carbon finding a pick just what they needed to retake this middle of the map and this ever-present stack, but will go down to AC Drift on the Texas.
Yeah, man, this is just starting. The stagger is just what's really doing in Sporty Bobble Hacking right now. There's opportunities where they should be getting some quick and easy picks, but it just doesn't go their way. And now they find themselves on the back foot here in the last 30 seconds with the wipeout as well. The Ink Raiders can try to force the lockout and possibly knock this out. So with 2 specials online as well, this could be it. Sporty Bobble Hacking has one opportunity to get something going here. Will they be able to do it? The trip strike's coming out as well, and it will
neutralize.
My goodness. Sporty Bobble Hacking just ran out of lives on that one. And Ink Raiders will come out on top in your first Game 7 on stream this season.
What an incredible match from both of these teams. I just loved seeing just the variety of options that folks were just switching to, tag teaming out different weapons. Just being able to see stuff like the Aniki Nova and, eventually the Carbon Deco. Just weapons that can really impress sometimes. And it was just really fun to see some of these more unconventional picks show off in this set.
Certainly. I mean, they were pulling, I don't know how deep their pockets go, but they're pretty deep. Because, I mean, people were pulling out all sorts of different weapons. Like, they were trading weapons. Like, Sephikus played Tri-Slosher one game and then gave it to Lucyfish in the next game. Like, it's really fascinating to just see how, I don't know, complex these compositions are for these 2 Division 5 teams. So they should definitely pat themselves on the back for 1, putting on a show, 2, for just really kicking some butt. I mean, everybody had massive plays here. I mean, that Manta game is iconic just because of the plays that Sephikus pulled off. And then AC Drift coming up big time and time again with those Reef Sliders. I think that's really kind of the niche that they realized this is what I do best. And it paid off massive in games 6 and 7 when they needed it the most. Cole coming up big with a couple of different triples at times as well. I mean, everybody on both teams had huge plays. It's really just so much fun to watch. So I think these teams can definitely go back, be proud of themselves of this set, and definitely take a look at what are things we can start to adjust, what are the things that we really did well, and how can we continue to capitalize on it? Because everyone had something good to come out of with this set.
Without a doubt, DRS. I definitely think that this would be just an excellent set to VOD review if, say, you're a newer team in the CCA or you're one of the two teams that played in it, just because there's so many really exciting moments to just look at and just being able to study in depth that maybe you don't get to see a lot from, say, other mods.
Absolutely. So kudos to both of them, but a particular congratulations to Ink Raiders Bravo from Middle Tennessee State University for winning this set 4-3. I mean, you can't get much more thrilling than that.
Without a doubt. I remember my first Game 7 situation in the CCA. Tower Control Museum d'Alfonsino. Definitely nerves were high during that game, but being able to just either play or just watch those Game 7 situations where it just comes down to the last minute, the last final pushes, just keeps everybody on the edge of their seats and is just something that anybody can look forward to.
Certainly. So with that said, though, Ink Raiders Bravo now moves up to 1-1 on the season. Sporty Bobble Hat Gang will be moving down to 0-2. But I mean, they're right there. This group that they're in, Division 5 Group 4, is just already so interesting. I believe we might already. No, do we have a triangle of suck yet? No, we don't yet. But that's already sort of in the works here, as there's already a few interesting matchups that have taken place, a few interesting results. This wasn't even Ink Raiders' first Game 7. They had a Game 7 in Week 1 against Villanova that they ultimately fell short in, so it must feel really good for them this week to get to a Game 7 yet again, but come out on top this time.
Without a doubt. I definitely think that, looking at how many teams we have, how exciting the groups are going to be, especially given there might be some more local rivalries, which with the way that the groups are structured, I definitely think that there are just going to be so many exciting storylines, like, say, the one told in this match, that are just so fun to watch. Mm-hmm. These teams evolve, grow, just collect themselves, get new players, and expand the collegiate Splatoon scene to their college.
Certainly. Well, that's going to do it for this set. So, Riffy, thank you so much for joining me on this phenomenal set. Go ahead and plug yourselves. Where can the people of our chat find you?
Yeah, thank you for having me. On Twitter, you can find me at Riffy_SPL. I don't really have that much else in terms of social media, but if you want to say see me on Discord or maybe I don't know, then my Discord is Riffy_microtones, which is a bit of a music nerd term, but yeah, that's where you can find me. How about you, DRF?
Well, you can go ahead and find me at DRF_Splatoon on Twitter and TritonDRF on Twitch. But as always, you can find me right here on the CCA channel. This is not the last game of our evening. This was simply game 2 of a triple header. We will have one more set coming up, a Division 2 matchup on the West Coast between San Diego State's Carne Inc. Soda Fries and UC Davis's EAUCD Blue. You do not want to miss that matchup. We will be back in about a half hour, so a little bit of a larger gap between sets today, but trust me, you're not going to want to miss that one, especially if you're on the West Coast. East Coast is if you're staying up late tonight. Feel free to tune in. Should be a fun time. We'll catch you on the flip side of this break. See you then.